Wow, I think equally delicious in their drama. There are plenty to go around, and it's all good fodder for making a TV show.
You starred in a Taylor Swift music video for her song White Horse. So what memories stand out for you from that time?
The shoot was so quick. We had a shoot in Nashville, and I remember she was just incredible to work with, so welcoming, and I'll never forget after the fact. This was about maybe a year and a half later. She was eventually going on tour, and she came through LA, and I got a call. And we hadn't spoken in a long time, and she was like, "Hey, I remember you saying that your cousins are big fans, and I've got a show in LA. Do you want me to leave some tickets for them to come backstage?" And I was like,
wow.
I was like, "Taylor, this is actually you, correct?" And it was, and she did leave tickets, and they got to go. And I think that just kind of speaks to the type of person that she is.
Wow. And bragging rights for you and your fam.
Yeah, right. I've been holding that over their head for years.
What production would you say features more drama? The reality world of Laguna Beach and The Traitors, or filming an independent comedy series?
Wow, I think equally delicious in their drama. There are plenty to go around, and it's all good fodder for making a TV show. So thankfully we continue to have these fun experiences, and we'll be able to continue to write many more seasons if everyone is doing great.
You described this release as a dream come true. So when you first heard about this news, how did you and your partner and your best friend, James Lafferty, celebrate together?
Oh man, thankfully I was on a Zoom with our main rep there at Sony, Paul Littman. He had given us a call, and we were on with Alex and James and myself. I was actually getting ready to officiate my brother's wedding moments later, and then also give a speech as his best man. So I was very locked into my scripts for those events, and then all of a sudden this curveball comes from Sony, and they're telling us that we're going on Netflix. And I mean, I just was in complete shock. I couldn't tell anybody. I didn't tell anybody through the rest of the day, but I got to have that nice moment with James and Alex where we celebrated and there were tears. But yeah, it really is a dream come true, and I'll definitely never forget that moment.
That's so great. So you didn't use that moment to upstage your brother's wedding, right? Just go, hey.
Yeah, absolutely. I was so nervous.
The show in the show.
I've never officiated anything before, and I took my minister duties very seriously. So
yes.
I was like, yes, we got to stay locked into today's role.
I feel like that could be something for season 3. I'm just noodling here, just noodling.
We're constantly, life is constantly giving us all sorts of artillery for the show.
Absolutely. Cariba, this show has been in your life for nearly 10 years, from the season 1 pilot in 2018 to the $260,000 crowdfunding, which is an amazing campaign. Mm-hmm. So what connects you most to Izzy and her story and her journey?
Well, I mean, as an actor, it also is a bit of a dream come true to basically have a character written for you by people who know you extremely well. So I couldn't really go wrong, but it definitely, it's when you're working in indie TV, I really thought when the guys we've got this idea, we're doing it. I was like, okay, cool. So I'll be swinging a boom, or I'll make sandwiches for the crew. And then I got there and it was legit. I was like, I can't do anything except be an actor. So that's fine with me.
So can you tell us, Stephen, when you first realized your own history with fame, after Laguna Beach or One Tree Hill, that you knew that this would lead to such a magnetic story?
Yeah, it's so funny. I mean, in jest, and to not be very serious for a moment, we got to remind ourselves that, we're adults playing make-believe for a living, and that inherently is funny. And so that backdrop and the fact that it's very difficult to get consistent work and make a career out of it, make a full living, it's so tough. And the sacrifices that people make, the things that we put ourselves through, the auditioning process, which is an absolute nightmare fuel for anybody. I don't care who you are. If you have a pulse, it's nightmare. So to go through that process, and I think that people always find those stories fascinating, with people chasing a dream. And I think it goes outside of just the being adjacent to the entertainment industry. Our show, I think, is relatable because you've got people that are going to great lengths to pursue their passion, And the battle that they find along the way and the people that they have by their side to go through it with, that's really at the heart of the show. So I think, look, the industry is funny in itself, but still at the end of the day, there's so much that I think folks can relate to with this story.
Absolutely. Cariba, this season we see more of what Izzy's up to. So what was your highlight of exploring your friendship with Andrea, and her, the character's not so perfect engagement? I feel like, there's lots of stuff going on, lots of layers.
Yeah, definitely. I think that it's a really timely story right now to have that kind of female friendship within a TV show like this, where they are ride or dies. They've got nothing but love for each other, but they're also both really going through some stuff, and they're probably not helping each other at times, even though they're trying, but they're imperfectly showing up for each other day in and day out through everything that they're going through. And there's just something that's just really sweet and heartwarming about that. So it's really fun to play that, because that's Alex and I's relationship 100% in real life as well.
I love that, and it rings so true, because even though your characters are so there for each other, you tell each other about yourselves, which I feel like that's, I'm a Virgo. That's what I really want from my girlfriends.
Yeah.
Even though in the moment I don't always want to receive it, but I want it there.
Tracy, you've nailed it on the head. That is so, so accurate and so true.
Yeah, we don't like to see it, but sometimes we need it. Okay, Stephen, so this show is obviously loosely inspired, by real acting experiences or audition stories. In the season 2 premiere, I go back to season 1 and the whole pillow gate. Let's just leave it there. And
Thank you.
Okay, leave it there. But in the season 2 premiere, when you spill salsa on your character's hockey jersey, so what are some of your favorite challenging moments that your character has to go through, the embarrassing moments on the show?
Yeah, I mean, well, first of all, I want to say, from what you were just talking about with Cariba, you kind of hit the nail on the head there of wanting to, hear folks talk about how they're feeling and what's going on. And it's in the title of the show, right? Everyone is doing great. It's their quick answer to go, yeah, I'm great. Working with Robert Buckley on One Tree Hill, he used to, instead of saying, how are you doing? He used to say, feelings check, go. And you'd want an honest answer of how does someone feel. And it led to some comedy as well. So I just wanted to share that story. It was cool that you touched on that, considering the title. But well, look, the auditions, there is, I talked about it earlier, the nightmare fuel that I've had over the course of my career, the unexpected situations we found ourselves in. I do think that, look, I do find the audition scenes hilarious. I really enjoy shooting those. They're really fun, the physical comedy aspect of that, and just to see how far Seth is willing to go, because I can relate to that, because I've done that. I've been in rooms where they did something that it's not inappropriate, but they never explain to you what you might be doing in the day, and it might get you on the floor. There might be a blanket or a pillow, and you're like, this is okay. I just came to deliver the lines and wasn't expecting this. So that in itself is very relatable to me. But what I find the most delicious with Seth is when he is struggling to keep a conversation, say with somebody like with Cariba's character, Izzy. They're having a little rapport. There's natural chemistry there. And to see him try to keep his cool, he's not trying to ever offend anybody. He doesn't want to ruffle any feathers, but he's trying to, remain almost stoic. And he struggles to do that quite a bit. And to me, I always just find that very funny.
And I also liked when you went to visit Seth's parents in Ohio. So we got to get a little sense of, how did this happen? What's the backstory there,
Yeah, and that was important to us in the first season. We want to show that, why Seth is out there trying to break away from this vampire role that people see him in and be taken seriously as an actor. And so we wanted to show his theatrical, roots, a true thespian, if you will, based on his mom's community theater and his dad's an artist. So yeah, that was a really fun part to implement in the show. I wish I had those parents growing up. My parents were great, but they're pretty cool. That episode actually was fortunate enough to be able to direct that one, and I call it my little Sideways episode. The film Sideways is a great, little portrait of, people from LA take their little drive up the coast, they go to the vineyards, a little weekend getaway. I just love that movie, and so it's definitely had me, when we were writing those episodes, I was telling James, I was like, want to direct that one. And I was feeling very inspired from Sideways for that. So you'll see even a couple shots of like the 101 were just ripped right from the show or the movie.
This season, Brian Greenberg guest stars to direct an episode of Feds, which is, you know, a nice One Tree Hill Easter egg. Chad Michael Murray has also been showing love for the show on Instagram. So what does that mean to you, and what does that mean for season 3?
Oh, well, I mean, we wouldn't be here without not only the fans of One Tree Hill, but of course, the One Tree Hill, our connection for James and I, where we met. But yeah, we love our One Tree Hill family. There's obviously a big community there. We've had a lot of people come in and work on the show, which is fantastic. They've lended their services at a reduced rate since we're more low budget. We're calling in the friendly favors, and they've been able to join us, which has been awesome. And yeah, seeing the support online from folks is great. And yeah, we welcome anybody and everybody to the show. So we're always thinking about, you know, who like from the show, because, you know, they can't say no, right? They have to say yes. So although we are still, our white whale is Robert Buckley. He is one that unfortunately we were not able to get him for season 2. But I'm shaking him down. Season 3. It's honestly why I want to do season 3, is because we have an opportunity to maybe get Rob on the show.
You know, jogging, running up the Santa Monica stairs. I remember doing that when I lived there, and there was, you know, the Runyon Canyon, the whole thing. So talk to me about filming those scenes with Steven.
That is incredibly accurate in terms of real life in LA. If you don't want to run into someone, definitely don't go hike, don't go to Runyon. And I was always like, why do I look like a bit, you know, disheveled? And now I'm like, oh, that's why people dress up to go do that, because if you want to see anyone, you do that. So I really like this like through line through the show of Izzy and Seth running into each other when they're trying to do something active. But it just couldn't be any more accurate in terms of how LA works, and my experience for sure in terms of trying to not see people, and that's definitely not the way to go. No, don't be active. Don't go hiking.
Cariba, Steven, congratulations, and thank you so much for taking the time to chat with Etalk.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.